Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
The battle is nearly over. Soon we'll know the winners of hundreds of races across the state, including Kentucky's U.S. Senate seat. We have Election Day team coverage coming up.
Berea police are looking for a man that attacked a Berea College student Sunday night.
And a consumer alert, KU is asking to increase its rates. How that will affect your monthly bill. WKYT News at 5 starts now. After months of campaigning and a lot of ads, it also comes down to tonight. In a matter of hours, we will have a winner in races around this state.
And the most anticipated result, the battle for Kentucky's U.S. Senate seat. We have Election Day team coverage beginning with WKYT's Phil Pendleton. He's live at Senator Mitch McConnell's headquarters in Louisville. Phil?
Well, I'm standing in what has become an extremely crowded ballroom here at this Louisville hotel. There are members of the news media from around the country, literally around the world, all of them eagerly awaiting the results of this very closely watched race. Now, earlier today, I saw McConnell and his wife at Bellarmine College. The two were followed from the moment they got out of their black SUV until they cast their ballots. McConnell, however, though, didn't say much as he was leaving.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a new majority to take America in a different direction.
And as it was there with the throngs of news media, so is the case here. I counted 18 satellite trucks outside. There are risers of more than 100 television and still picture cameras, all waiting the results that we hope to have here in a couple of hours. In Louisville, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. McConnell's challenger, Democrat Allison Lundergan Grimes, says she thinks the people of Kentucky will surprise the nation by choosing her today. She'll be in Lexington tonight to wait for those results. WKYT's Sean Moody is live for us at Grimes' campaign headquarters at the Carrick House. Hello, Sean.
Hello. Well, the most recent polls show Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes trailing, but she said this morning she expects voters here in Kentucky to surprise the nation, hoping for a victory party here at the Carrick House this evening. Grimes started her day by voting around 7:30 this morning in downtown Lexington. Before spending time with family and supporters, she also met with the State Board of Elections for her work as Kentucky's Secretary of State this afternoon. Now, this has been a long race. Grimes first announced her candidacy last summer. Since then, she and Senator Mitch McConnell have traded the lead back and forth. In February, Grimes was ahead. Then McConnell took the lead over the summer. Grimes jumped back in front by 1. But the most recent WKYT Herald Leader Bluegrass poll shows McConnell with a 5-point lead. Grimes campaign officials say this race has been neck and neck since the beginning, and the outcome depends on voter turnout today.
The people of this state are going to have the last word, and I think they're going to surprise a lot of the nation. They're ready for somebody that can finally bring the change that's needed to Washington and put the people of this state first.
Now, we haven't seen any of the early numbers coming out of the voting polls yet today, but we're going to stay on top of those and we'll keep you updated as soon as we get them. Live in Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you. The battle between McConnell and Grimes is one of the most watched around the nation.
It is. The outcome of that race, along with some others, could potentially change the balance of power in the U.S. Senate. Mark Albert shows us the other races that will make a difference.
Voters lined up early for a say in which party will control the U.S. Senate. Republican Senator Mitch McConnell cast his ballot in Louisville, Kentucky. If the GOP has a good night, he could be the next Senate Majority Leader. McConnell is facing a challenge from Democrat Allison Lundergan Grimes.
Already higher turnout than expected, and we hope it stays that way throughout the day.
A third of the Senate is up for election, but just 9 of those states are considered toss-ups. The latest CBS News Battleground Tracker shows the GOP is likely to pick up the 6 seats needed to win a Senate majority. Candidates and outside groups have spent a record $3.6 billion on the midterm elections. One of the most expensive races is in North Carolina. Democratic Senator Kay Hagan is trying to hang on to her seat against a challenge from Republican State House Speaker Tom Tillis.
I think it's very clear since August it's continued to go positively in our direction.
Democratic senators in New Hampshire, Arkansas, Colorado, Louisiana, and Alaska are all in tight races, while Kansas Republican Pat Roberts is defending his seat against independent Greg Orman. In Chicago, election officials had to dispatch 250 standby judges after a malicious robocall told some judges they could not serve without additional training. Mark Albert for CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, polls right now show close races in Georgia and Iowa as well. Georgia's race includes a Libertarian candidate, so there could be a runoff election if no candidate receives 50% of the vote. Lexington is one of several central Kentucky communities picking a mayor tonight. Incumbent Jim Gray facing challenger Anthony Beatty for the city's top job. Beatty is the former police chief and right now works as an administrator at the University of Kentucky. Both candidates told us this morning they feel confident about their chances of winning. And stick with WKYT for all your election night coverage. We'll have the first returns beginning on WKYT News right here at 6 o'clock, and we'll continue to track results as they come in during our election night special. That's from 6:30 to 8 over on the CW Lexington. We'll include live reports, analysis, and speeches as they happen. Remember, you can also keep up with results and election headlines. Just go to WKYT.com. It was a great day to walk to your polling place, if you could do that.
I can actually do that, and it was. And unfortunately, though, this nice weather is on the way out. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now with the changes ahead.
Yeah, good little walk to the polling place, especially, Amber, if you had the wind to your back today, you could just make up some ground getting to the polls. We're dealing with a lot of gusty winds, clouds that are rolling in, and a very mild day. Those clouds showing up on our live sky cam as of right now. That's Defender, and behind that, the overcast conditions that continue to settle on into town. Eventually, those clouds will produce some rain. We're still with that mild southerly flow out ahead of our front, but look at how that wave of low pressure developing across the Ozarks is closing quickly on the Bluegrass State, raining to beat the band into far western Kentucky, getting close to Owensboro, the Louisville area, Indianapolis. So we're still several hours away from getting the steadier rains in here. It doesn't mean we can't get a stray shower or two to pop up later this evening into the overnight. The steady rain should arrive as we go into late tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures on the other side of the Ohio River have dropped into the low 50s, yet into most of central and eastern Kentucky, low 60s that are showing up as of now. Gusty winds out there too, but the focus of the forecast when I come back is on a lot of cold air that is on the way. I've got 1, 2, 3, even 4 cold fronts that show up into that 7-day forecast in just a matter of minutes.
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. Berea College has issued a safety alert for students after a man approached a woman on campus. It happened late Sunday night. While the man didn't hurt the student, it still left many people concerned. WKYT's Sam Smith is tracking the investigation.
Berea police and campus safety officials want to make sure everyone feels safe on campus, and the way they're doing that is by stepping up patrols after this incident. Around 11 o'clock Sunday night, police say a female student at Berea College was walking back to the Elizabeth Rogers Residence Hall when a man approached her. The student told police that the man forced her across the back parking lot and behind a dumpster. I'm told the suspect showed her a knife, but that was all. The man did not hurt the student. He ran away from the scene on his own. The man is described to have a scratchy voice. He was wearing a ski mask, black shoes, and a black pullover sweatshirt. Berea police are taking this very seriously.
What makes it serious was the fact that he used the force that he used and showed her a weapon. You know, we're just glad that nobody was harmed in this incident.
If you have any information about the suspect or saw anything that night, contact police. In Berea, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Campus Public Safety will send out any updates on the investigation directly to students. Authorities have lifted a shelter-in-place order for people living near the scene of a tire fire. It started yesterday at a recycling plant in Louisville. Firefighters smothered the flames using dirt and think that it's mostly covered. One firefighter suffered minor injuries fighting that fire. He has since been released from the hospital.
If you have Kentucky utilities, your bill could be getting much more expensive. KU announced today it plans to ask the state to approve a rate hike. WKYT's Garrett Weimer has this consumer alert.
If that adjustment is approved, Kentucky Utilities says that increase will look like about 37 cents a day or 11 bucks a month on your bill. Kentucky Utilities says the raise will help pay for what's called a combined cycle natural gas-fired power unit. A spokesperson says KU has closed down about 13% of its coal-fired units because of stricter regulations from the Environmental Protection Agency. The new unit should be open in May to help keep up with demand during the summer.
It will supply the power that we need to round out the supply that be needed as we go into the heating, or really the cooling season of next summer, because that generation will need.
KU says they're trying to raise about $153 million in additional revenue with that increase. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Feltham says KU will officially ask the Public Service Commission for the adjustment on November 26th.